One of the interesting things about environment design and improving your habits and behavior through shaping your environment is that you don't just have to improve your environment in a positive way, in a way that promotes good behaviors. You can also improve in a way that reduces distractions, interruptions, and bad behaviors. And oftentimes, doing that is both a faster way to get to winning and a more effective way to maintain consistency over the long run. Because the things that derail us are the things that upset our frequency and repetition and consistency, not necessarily improving the quality of the work that we do. Both of them are important, of course, but we often forget about how important it is to maintain consistency and avoid distraction. To give you an idea of how important it can be in a real world context, let's think about Japanese television manufacturers compared to American ones. In the 1970s, Japanese television manufacturers like Sony and Samsung realized that they could compete with the American firms, often not by coming up with a better television, but simply by doing a better job of what they could already do. So for example, rather than come up with new innovations or game-changing technologies, Japanese firms focused on eliminating waste from all sources of the production line and even reducing the amount of turning that workers needed to do in their workspace so that they could maintain efficiency and build the television sets faster, more effectively, and with fewer errors. And what ended up happening was that over the course of the 1970s, by the time we got to 1979, Japanese television sets were 3 times more popular than the American ones that had been leading just a decade before. Now, what's interesting here is that we're talking about there are 2 different ways to improve. For any task, you have basically a bell curve of your behavior, and the middle of that behavior is your average performance. Now, if you want to improve, you could either boost your best performance, right? Improve your winning, your best days, and that's going to pull your average forward a little bit. Or you could reduce your worst days, right? You could cut down on the days that are pulling you back and dragging you down, and that's another way to shift your average forward. So often we think about our best performance, right? Everybody wants to perform at their best. Everybody wants their best day. Everybody thinks about their top tier performance. People ask what your personal best is if you're in the gym, or what your maximum typing rate is if you're thinking about work, or whatever it may be. We're always focused on the maximum. But instead, by increasing your average performance on the down days, you can also make a shift forward. And this is exactly what the Japanese television manufacturers did. They optimized the environment to reduce the distractions, eliminate the waste, and reduce unnecessary movement, which shifted their average forward mostly by reducing errors rather than capturing wins. And this is often a forgotten way of designing our environment and improving our performance. So, to give you some examples of how you could do this, if you're focused on going to the gym, you could either focus on increasing the intensity of your best workouts. That's the normal approach. Let's get really motivated and work out really hard. Or you could simply focus on missing fewer workouts and doing the same thing. And again, that'll increase the average by increasing your repetitions and consistency. Same way with eating healthier foods. You could focus on trying to stick to a new diet or adhering to a new strict, vegan or paleo or vegetarian or whatever diet plan that you're going to follow. And this is the typical path, right? We're going to focus on how do we perform better with our meals. Or you could simply focus on saying, sometimes I eat healthy meals, but a lot of times I don't, so let me just reduce the amount of unhealthy meals I'm eating. Rather than trying to stick to some new and incredible diet plan, I'll just do what I'm already doing on my good days, but a little more frequently. Similar for saving for retirement or financial habits. You could either try to earn more money, which is often what we're focused on. How do we upgrade? How do we get a promotion? How do we advance our career? Or you could simply focus on losing less money by cutting down on expenses or saving a little bit more. Both of these ways are valid ways of improving, but often we can make addition by subtraction by getting rid of the distractions and the leaky holes in our bucket rather than focusing on pouring more water in. And so that's one of the core lessons of environment design, is that it works not only in a positive way, but also for reducing our negative days. So think about how you can make addition by subtraction by simply eliminating the waste that is preventing you from following through on your habits on a consistent basis.